Sabotaging America. That's the focus of tonight's angle. All right, if the not-so-esteemed Saul Alinsky were alive today, he'd be smiling. His book, Rules for Radicals, laid out a step-by-step blueprint for destabilizing America. Pick the target, freeze it, personalize it, polarize it. Demonize your opponent, protect the mob, overwhelm the system until it breaks. And this week, we saw it on full display in Chicago, where the mayor there has clearly joined the radicals' cause.
The right wing in this country wants a rematch of the Civil War. I want that to sit in right now, because the President of the United States of America has declared war on the people of Chicago and people across America.
Okay, if anyone is trying to start a war on our streets and our cities, it's not conservatives. It's the hard left and their Democrat protectorate, people like Brandon Johnson. Because they began battling in earnest in the summer of 2020, using George Floyd's death as a pretext. The destruction, and we saw it in city after city, was excused. The lawlessness was celebrated as righteous rage. Because what's been happening in Portland and Chicago shows us the truth, well, Democrats' primary goal, it's not to keep their residents safe or restore order. Their primary goal is sabotaging the Trump administration and, by extension, the federal government. And I'm talking by any means necessary. Now, look at what happened in Chicago this week. ICE and Border Patrol agents on a lawful enforcement mission were followed. They were boxed in by 10 vehicles, nearly run over, and shot at.
We had a caravan of 10 different vehicles that were following our Border Patrol agents and officers that were out there on the streets of Chicago. And they had followed them and gotten them cornered, pinned them down. And then our agents, when getting out of their cars, they tried to run them over and had semi-automatic handguns on them, to where our agents had to protect themselves, and shots were fired.
Now, this wasn't mostly peaceful. This was a coordinated ambush of federal officers in an American city. Two suspects, Marimar Martinez and Anthony Ian Santos, are already facing charges for forcibly assaulting federal officers. And by the way, when those agents, the ICE agents under siege, called for backup from the Chicago PD, the message that went out was not, we're on our way, no problem. It was, no units will respond to this.
And again, per the Chief of Patrol, we have all the units that, per 999, Chief of Patrol said all units clear out from there. We're not sending anybody over to that location.
We're busy today. Now, the transmitted message that was sent to all CPD relayed the same message. And they quoted the Chief of Patrol says no units will respond to this. Consistent. So you got federal agents trapped, shots fired, and Chicago PD told not to help. Well, today, clean up on aisle 5, as Police Superintendent Larry Snelling told us not to believe our eyes or our ears.
I would never tell our officers to stand down, because if our officers were in trouble and we needed help from other officers, I would expect those officers to step in and help us. When someone is in trouble, we're going to step in.
Okay, it's time to parse the language. He said, no, we don't tell people to stand down. Well, no, you're right. They didn't use the words stand down, but that clearly was the order. The underlying message, do not show up. So they were caught in the disturbing dereliction of their duty, putting federal officers' lives at risk. The CPD dispatch was unequivocal. No response to a distress call. Think about that. That's not protecting the city. That's political sabotage of federal law enforcement, and it's prosecutable, by the way. Now, for his part, the odious Mayor Johnson didn't even pretend to deny any of this.
When it comes to civil immigration enforcement, absent a warrant, our police department will not dub as federal ICE agents. In fact, we believe it's antithetical to driving violence down in the city of Chicago.
No, so we're not going to help those guys, the feds, because they're actually the problem. So in Johnson, Chicago, ICE agents can be surrounded by armed mobs, and the police won't help because protecting federal law enforcement is antithetical to public safety? This is what people vote for there? This is insanity. And remember, the same mayor has also created ICE-free zones. He's telling all the different, regions, create your zones so the criminals can operate with impunity and criminals will be able to escape on lawful arrest.
The order establishes ICE-free zones. That means that city property and unwilling private businesses will no longer serve as staging grounds for these raids.
Everyone's asking me all day long, who's the woman with the ice, the nose ring? I have no idea who it is, so don't ask me again. Okay, well, in other words, they're going to attempt to make ICE's job impossible in blatant interference with federal law. Again, the ghost of Alinsky's hovering here. This is flat out demonizing ICE in an attempt to make their jobs impossible. Again, classic Alinsky, freezing the target.
We're urging our protesters remain calm, peaceful protests, exercise your First Amendment rights, but videotape everything. For the large part, people are being very quiet, are being very respectful, but ICE is being very aggressive. Remember that they are zip-tying children. They are raiding apartment blocks in the middle of the night, separating children from their families, pulling people out onto the streets naked. They are using Gestapo tactics in Chicago, and this is what Trump wants to do, right? He wants to intimidate the people of Chicago.
Okay, for a proud U.S. military veteran, an amazing service, by the way, I salute her for her service. That was a disgusting comment. She knows the way she's characterizing that is false. Zip ties are used for the safety of other people in that apartment building. She knows it. Children are separated from criminals all day long, all night long in every state in the United States of America, Senator, and you know that, so stop lying. And, of course, Pritzker claims that by dispersing the violent mob, again, ICE is the problem.
The Trump administration is following a playbook: cause chaos, create fear and confusion, make it seem like peaceful protesters are a mob by firing gas pellets and tear gas canisters at them. Why? To create the pretext for invoking the Insurrection Act so that he can send military troops to our city.
Okay, my question is he not looking at the video? Do they not see what's going on near these ICE officers? Did he not see the cars pinning them in? Did he not see what was going on at Broadview? Guys, this is not about policy disagreements. It's not about protecting the migrants or, you know, we welcome all migrants to the country or asylum seekers. Not about any of that. They don't care about the migrants. This is about celebrating and perpetuating lawlessness. It's blatant impeding of federal law enforcement, which, again, is a federal crime. Again, they know what they're doing. It is classic Alinsky. Remember, the Rules for Radicals was the younger Obama's favorite how-to manual for effective organizing. And this is where Alinsky, again, comes back into play. Remember, pick the target, freeze it, personalize it, polarize it. This is what happened time and again in Chicago. They want chaos because chaos creates fear, and fear creates political opportunity. And they're willing to endanger federal agents and help criminals escape if it means sabotaging Trump, and the next Trump, and the next Trump after that. And, of course, dismantling the institutions they can't control. That is also the goal. Their ultimate takedown target, however, America itself. And that's the angle.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.